out for those of us that might not be able to go on Facebook right now. Okay, so a particular lady is asking or seeking advice because her parents are forcing her to marry a rich man who is rude. Okay. So he's a rude man, a rude rich man. How do I put it now? Rude rich, whatever. Okay, so this is what she says. Let me read some of the things she said. Alright, so she says, there's this guy my parents are forcing me to marry, and deep down in their hearts, they know I don't like him. I liked him initially, but I couldn't cope with his insults and ego. But because Prophet says he's good, I must marry him or get ready to leave their house. My mom said I'm too old at 27. Okay. That I can't get anybody to marry me, so I should stick to who is here asking to marry me. I got introduced to the guy through my neighbor, and like I said, I liked him initially, not until he found out I was an extra year student and he started calling me series of names. He calls me a nobody, says I'm nothing, says I have nothing to offer. Okay. He once told my parents that he has plans for me to go to Dubai to do nursing and all sorts of things to please them. And those ones were like, okay, whether I'm the one who offends him or the other way, I should always be begging him because he has plans for me. My neighbor knows all this and how he's egocentric and all. She was like, I should act up for all of them, including the guy that I want the relationship. I've been pretending and all for my sanity, not until last week Thursday when I went to his place and he told me he wanted to do the bedroom-ish with me. He's 33 years old and I told him I don't feel like it. He got angry, insulted me, and told me to swear with the Bible that I have not done that with anybody in school. I told him I wasn't going to swear and I didn't want to. He walked me out of his house. My mom heard about it and said I should send him messages to beg him, which I did. I sent him messages from Saturday till Thursday. He reads them, he doesn't reply. Then she asked me to call him, which I did, and he said I should have my bath, dress up, and start coming to his place. I told him I can't leave my mom alone at home, that she's under the weather, and he just ended the call on me. He came to see her yesterday and was like, since I told him about her health, he's not being himself. Just about anything to make him look like a good person. When he was leaving, he gave her money and I escorted him out. Before I came back, my mom already spoke to my neighbor and was like, the woman should talk to me, that I must marry him. Please, I need your advice on what to do. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, first and foremost, you're talking about the rich man with attitude problem and all that. Okay, let's just keep the riches aside and let's talk about human beings in general. You know, there are some kind of relationships that sometimes bring out the worst in you, and also there are some relationships that bring out the best in you.
Yeah.
Okay, now her family, they kind of appreciate him, and obviously she said mommy is sick and he's already there, he's doing the needful. Do you understand? Now people around think that you're not thinking straight. You know, everybody around thinks you're lucky, But in reality, you that you're in the relationship, things are not going on well. Now let's set that aside. I wish this lady could listen to us as we talk. The truth of the matter is that she's lucky to see her future before she gets into it. Not everybody sees the future of their marriage. Right. Yes, I've heard someone said before that marriage is like okrika babe. You don't know what is inside until you unravel it, until you open it, you now realize what it is you have finally purchased. Like for me, she is lucky to see her future even before she goes into it. And let me tell you something, or let me tell this lady something, it gets worse. Yes, it gets worse. Imagine those that were even pampered with all the love in the world and then on getting married, it changes. Do you get? At least if it doesn't completely change it, but the truth is that it reduces. Do you understand? Yeah. So how much more the one that you're already being maltreated, you're already being humiliated, he's already throwing into your face where you don't even have rights to your body. You get what I'm saying? He thinks he owns your body. Like no, these things for me I feel is something that should be enjoyed, not forced upon. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Now, another aspect of life generally, that was why I liked this topic when you sent it to me, is the fact is that is what we're suffering right now in the modern day community, like society. I'm sorry to say, some parents, not all, some parents tend to like look at marriage as an insurance policy. Right? They feel that they're securing the lives of their daughters financially. But let me ask you something. Before marriage, who are you? I'm sorry, this question I'm throwing it out to the young girls out there. Who are you? Don't you have a life before marriage? Who are you? Why are you trying to go into marriage and look at a man as your financer or as your ATM or as your insurance cover you? Like, I want to understand, who are you before marriage? Because I feel you have a personality before marriage.
Right.
Go into marriage, you have another personality. And then life continues. Are you understanding? Now, who are you before this marriage? Are you getting what I'm trying to say to you? Because for me, if you're financially like independent or working towards it, at least having potential, because personally, I knew when I got married, I wasn't doing anything per se, but at least, thank God, the potential was there, and at least I'm actualizing it with the support I'm having from my spouse. But then, that is firm question I want to ask again: who are you before marriage? Because for me, I feel if parents want to secure their daughters' lives financially, it means probably they are seeing their daughters as lazy, or seeing their daughters as no potential. Because why are you telling this girl that he's sending her to Dubai to go and read nursing? Like, what if that is not even what she wants? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say to you?
Right.
What if that's not what she even really wants? That is imposition. And to be honest with you, a lot of women have lost it, Ovi. They have lost it, living lives that are not theirs. There are a lot of women you see out there. You think you want to envy their lifestyle. You think they have everything. But guess what? They have nothing. They are very sad, they are very depressed because they are not happy in the marriage. Do you get? And I don't know, I don't want to generalize still though, but the thing about the so-called rich people, I don't know, it's like the riches is inbuilt, it comes with arrogance. I don't, but correct me if I'm wrong, these are my unpopular opinion, but like many, like 70%, I've met humble ones, don't get me wrong, that's why I said some. I've met really, really humble ones that if you don't even get really close to them, you won't realize that these guys are boxed up or these babes are boxed up. But then there's this thing that comes with the so-called rich, especially when you are not as rich as them. When they're in a circle of rich friends, they are happy, they are down to earth and all that. But when you're beneath them, do you get? That is where the attitude shows. But then it's worst if this so-called rich person throws it out to your face. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say to you? Now, they're not married yet. And he's already messing up with her life. She's already complaining to the point of coming on social media, because I believe for someone to come out on social media and vent, they cry for help. Yes, what I would like to know is they cry for help. So, baby girl, I wish you could actually listen to us. She's just 27. I'm not saying
you're saying just. Her mom says she's too old. She's not going to find a man.
Oh my God, mommy, please now. Like,
there's so much pressure on. I read out something about Simi in the news. She had been this week, she had been putting up different posts. Like, there's so much attention, so much pressure on the girl child. You're training them so well to do things perfectly because they are going to marry tomorrow. That's the perception most people have. But you don't have the same attention on the boys.
Okay, coming from where I'm coming from, or let me still, I like to say my own unpopular opinion. So feel free to drop your comments and call and say whatever it is you want to say. For me, I feel the pressure on women to get married faster is because of we have a biological time clock. With the biological clock does not favor us, and that's the menopause. You get to a point where you can conceive. So basically, I think that is the reason why it's a little bit pushy or is a little bit rushed on the women. But unlike men, a man of 70 years old can still have a child. Do you understand? But a woman from, let's say, 50 might even find it, even though now thanks to technology, but then even with the inception of the technology, giving birth at a late age is still not easy.
Yes, it's not. No, I totally understand. I wouldn't even want to give birth late, but then you shouldn't put so much pressure and make a woman feel like that is all she's living for.
I agree.
Because
that's a fact. Marriage should not be a must. Do you understand?
That's like
if it comes your way, fine. Do you understand? But if it doesn't, fine. So for me, some people say marriage define you, but personally, yes, I'm glad I'm married. Yes,